Where are we ranking these two gentlemen and Travis Kelce in 2024 fantasy football? You know, the Super Bowl is over now. Mahomes is closer to becoming the new GOAT, and that debate will continue, and I get it. Everybody wants to say Mahomes is far away from being the GOAT. No, he's close to being the GOAT. The debate's going to be crazy because everybody's measurements are different. But I don't think there's a debate that he's the number one quarterback in the National Football League. But is he the number one fantasy football quarterback? Is Josh Allen still QB1? Or does this team, the KC Chiefs, bring in a wide receiver, a couple weapons? Does Kelce still have enough gas left in the tank for one more top 3, top 4 tight end season? We'll break down Kelce's ranking, talk about his disgusting encounter with Andy Reid on the sideline, which would have got a lot of players in some major trouble. But no, not Travis Swift. He gets away with it. Disgusting display of leadership on the sideline during the Super Bowl game out of Travis Kelce. We're talking about CMC. We're talking about Mahomes. We're talking about Kelce. The Fantasy Football Show begins right now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
We've got a lot to discuss, ladies and gentlemen, relating to 2024. A little bit of Super Bowl conversation because I think we're not done talking about that, digesting it. And there's so much to go over, especially Travis Kelce's total unprofessional leadership display as he grabs Andy Reid, almost knocks Andy Reid over, starts screaming and yelling at him. And, you know, Andy Reid's a baller. And Andy Reid came out and said, oh, he was just trying to talk to me and, you know, keeps me on my toes, keeps me younger, wasn't offended at all. Andy Reid's just a absolute, you know, stud, just a legend. But that doesn't excuse what we saw with our own eyeballs. Neither here nor there. Where do we rank Kelce despite all the distasteful pieces of news and media and negativity that come attached to Kelce? Where do we objectively rank him in 2024? Because he's not stepping away in 2024. Some thought maybe he retires. Where do we rank Mahomes? Is he QB2, QB1 in fantasy? He's QB1 in the NFL. But we're talking fantasy today. We can also discuss, you know, where you have him amongst the overall quarterbacks in the National Football League historically, if you want. Christian McCaffrey, is he running back one, or does he start to get dinged up at the age of 28? Did Kyle Shanahan run him into the ground and not even use him properly in the Super Bowl, I might add? He had, 20-something total touches, but they weren't the right touches. Christian McCaffrey was completely misused on the ground. He did catch 8 receptions for 80 yards and a touchdown. He had 80 and 80. But, man, McCaffrey, this game could have got won on the ground through Christian McCaffrey. A lot of missteps in this game. A lot of blocking missteps. A lot of horrible play designs. And Chris Jones coming up the gut almost untouched with no one blocking him at the end of the game when you had Ayuk at the top of the screen. When you watch the video footage of this replay over and over, I got it on my Instagram. You got Ayuk at the top. Snead falls down. Ayuk's by himself, just crossing almost a little like slant route into the end zone, all by himself. Jennings is wide open in the back right corner of the end zone, and you have Purdy just rush because Jones is running right up untouched. And you watch, I believe it's the right guard. I think it was number 68 actually, number 68, yeah. And he literally sees Chris Jones coming. Everybody could say, oh, the play design was he needed to block the far right man. But it doesn't matter. Chris Jones is running toward your quarterback. You have an obligation to adjust and adapt. We adjust and adapt. And he's literally sitting there watching Jones run. And he just goes like this and just kind of gives him a left arm tap. Almost looked, if someone wants to say there's some rigging, there's a rigged piece of this game going on. That could be rigged. What is number 68 doing watching Jones run straight for Brock Purdy? It's the craziest thing. If you go watch my Instagram, there's no one blocking him. No one blocking him at all. You got 2 wide open wide receivers. Now, granted, Purdy should have probably stood in the pocket, got drilled, and threw it to Ayuk, who was wide open, but he didn't see Ayuk. The Jennings play was a little tougher, getting crowded, little space, getting hit, trying to have enough touch on the ball because Jennings did have to separate at the time of that ball being thrown. Jennings ended up a whole lot more wide open as the ball was in the air. So that was a tougher play, but Purdy didn't see Ayuk wide open in the end zone. His defender fell down. And here's Jones running up the gut. That was crazy to me. But go watch my Instagram video where I break it all down. I've got Ayuk at the top part of the screen running his wide open route. I've got Purdy getting rushed by Jones with no blocking whatsoever. You're just not going to block the best defender on the field. You're just going to let him walk straight up to Brock Purdy and level him. And then you've got Jennings on that bottom right corner. But go watch it. It's crazy. What an amazing game, though. I feel bad for the Niner folks. Congrats to the KC folks. I really didn't have any skin in the game. A lot of people said, Smitty, you were very slanted toward KC. Maybe I was, in all honesty, because I think if I'm digging down deep, I didn't want Kelce and Swift and that whole narrative to continue on. I really didn't. I was kind of hoping that it would get stopped dead in its tracks. But at the same time, I think I didn't love the fact that the Niners weren't getting the most out of their team. I almost felt like it, and this is just me being honest, I almost felt if the Niners won this game, the way they were playing, the way Shanahan was coaching for 3 straight games in a row, off of a lot of luck, beating the Green Bay Packers when, quite honestly, you almost didn't deserve to win that game, and you had the better team by far. The Niners were the best team from top to bottom. No doubt about it. The KC Chiefs obviously proven they're right there, but the Niners were the best team from top to bottom. They played 3 horrible games in a row. Brock Purdy was mediocre for 3 straight games. The last 3 games, Brock Purdy was mediocre with 2 very good final drives against the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions that made people forget how he played the entire first, second, and third quarter of the other games. Now, there were some other, plays in the third quarter against the Lions. Well, sure. But Brock Purdy was not magical at all in those 3 games. And Shanahan was definitely not calling good plays the majority of those games. In the Green Bay game, in the Lions game, the Niners came out flat. Shanahan's play calling was atrocious. He held his team back. I like to think of this like you have a race car that can go 150 miles per hour, and you're in a race and you only drive it 100 miles per hour. The entirety of the race. You refuse to drive at 120. You refuse to drive at 130. Your vehicle goes 150. You drive at 100 miles per hour around the track and you wonder why you lose. That's what Shanahan did in not just this game, but in the previous game against the Lions, in the previous game against the Green Bay Packers. And it just so happened that the team was so good, they helped bail Shanahan out against Green Bay, bail Shanahan out against the Lions, and he just couldn't do that against the Chiefs, which is what I said before the game started. For the first 2 hours of pregame, I said the Chiefs won't unravel. They won't unravel. And if you give Mahomes any time at all, he will cook you. He will cook you because, in my opinion, this is going to be, by this time next year, such a hot conversation. Right now, he's not there yet. But if Mahomes wins another Super Bowl next year, and this exact same time next year, we come in saying he's won 3 in a row, which has never been done, we will be talking about him and Brady being on the exact same level playing field. You can disagree with me because of numbers. You can disagree with me because of the number of rings. I obviously measure this a little differently, and I think when you see a player on the field do what he does, I think when you see a player win 3 consecutive championships, if we are there 1 year from today, understand what I'm saying. I have a caveat here. If we're sitting here at the end of the 2024 season and this man wins a 2024/2025 Super Bowl and wins 3 in a row, we have a new stat that no one else has. 3 Super Bowls in a row. We have a guy that's 29 years old at that point. He's 28 right now, doing everything that he's done. I can measure it however the hell I want. I don't need a whole career to say, At 29 years old, for him to have done everything he does, everything he's done and currently does, I can say that right there qualifies him. Like, he's going to get the numbers. He's going to get probably the rings. And to do what he's done at 29, 1 year from today, I don't care what anybody says. I don't care. You can disagree with me. I bet you half the chat, if not 60 or 70%, is going to say 1 year. Listen to the words coming out of my mouth. I'm not saying right now. I'm saying 1 year from today, if Mahomes wins the 2024/2025 Super Bowl, 1 year from today, and he's got 3 Super Bowls in a row, I will walk on and say he's now currently on level playing field with Tom Brady. At least level, maybe just a smidge above him. And I don't care. I'm not measuring it the same way clearly as a lot of other people. To do this in the future, in the time machine, I jump in. He's won it in 2024. Let me come back here into 2020. That's 2025. Come back into 2024. Guys, he won the Super Bowl next year. I'm telling you. He's at 29 years old in 2025. At 29 years old, he is the GOAT. He's the GOAT. He is the GOAT. You can disagree with me all you want. I don't care. I care. Of course, I care about you guys. But I don't care that anybody disagrees with me. Because that's the way I look at it. At 29 years old with 3 straight Super Bowls, if that happens next year, nothing can touch this guy. He's 29 years old. I'll give him all the advance he needs to say the numbers are going to get there. No one's doing what he's doing the way he's doing it, looking the way he's doing it, and he's just a marvel. He's an absolute marvel. What a crazy game. What a fun game. And there's so much to digest. I mean, there's so much to break down. First and foremost, let's get this out of the way. Travis Kelce was a disgusting display of unprofessional behavior, lack of leadership, total anger problems, and you can see this graphic right here. This was from Tyreek Hill, by the way, and he says, "We know why, right?" Talking to AJ Brown, who said if AJ Brown Bleacher Report says AJ Brown didn't mince words, and then AJ Brown's tweet says, if that was me, I would have been kicked out of the league. And then Tyreek Hill says, but we know why though, right? I'm not necessarily going to play the politics of that and say that I agree as to why Tyreek Hill's insinuating that Kelce would have been out of the league, or AJ Brown would have been out of the league, and AJ Brown thinks he would have been out of the league had he done this to his head coach. But I will say that Travis Kelce gets some sort of pass because of him being a golden boy, a extension of Mahomes, a golden boy extension of Taylor Swift, a golden boy extension of ticket sales and high ratings and all kinds of drama that's attached to money-making type of things that are attached. That's why I believe he gets a total pass. This guy's got anger problems. He's got anger problems. That plays football. I'm not mad. I don't mind if my players on my team, let's say the Cardinals, I'm a big Bills and Cardinals guy. If either one of those teams has an angry, violent guy, I go at him. But I don't mind a guy that's aggressive and passionate about the game. But I go at Diggs. I go at Diggs all the time. Diggs is an unprofessional, dead weight, holds the team back in Buffalo. This guy is an absolute train wreck. And he gets a pass, and it's frustrating. And the other players in the NFL are frustrated too. Again, some of them for different reasons. But this is crazy, man. This is crazy. This guy was a loose cannon. Andy Reid's such a legend. He's like, not a big deal. Not a big deal. He almost knocked me off balance. That's what it was about. He just said, put me back in. You got to put me back in the game. That's all he said. Andy Reid's like, he caught me off guard. I appreciate it. He did good. He did a good job catching me off guard. Just totally blew it off. Now, I don't know if there'll be some beef between them behind closed doors. I don't know. But this was unacceptable. And A.J. Brown and Tyreek Hill are right to a degree. Maybe not exactly why, but this wouldn't have flew. This wouldn't have flew if it was other players. Like, Kelce gets a pass. Why? Why? Taylor Swift? Why? Good luck, Taylor Swift, because this anger management piece of work right here is going to be a project. Get ready for the Kelce experiment, Taylor. And Kelce, get ready for the Taylor Swift experiment. We've heard that both of them could be a mess in the relationship department. There should be a song debuting in 2025 about Travis Kelce breaking her heart, but this man clearly has aggressive and anger issues, and I lose a lot of respect for him based on the way he behaves sometimes in the field. Even when he was kicking the kicker's helmet and everything out of the way when was it Tucker or who was it? I think it was kicking field goals in the playoffs. Here's another piece of news. We got some news to go over, ladies and gentlemen. Once we get through all this, Kelce said he's planning on returning to the Chiefs in 2024. There was some thought by a lot of people making speculative guesses that Kelce could walk away from the game if they win a Super Bowl and he could just go off on an Eras tour, maybe be a security guard, anger management classes potentially, and then he could qualify as a security guard for Taylor Swift and hang out on the Eras tour and retire into the sunset because he clearly lost a step this year. He clearly couldn't do what he used to do. He's older. Ziggy, how old is Travis Kelce?
Travis Kelce is 34 years old and was born on October 5th,
Ziggy off.
1999.
Ziggy off. He'll be 35 years old in 2024. So the odds of him having some sort of drop off or getting injured, which causes drop off, very high. The question is, can we set aside our Kelce hatred, if you will, or our getting sick and tired of hearing about Swift and Kelce and getting tired of hearing about this guy's antics, being frustrated with the way he behaves and how he grabs his head coach and almost knocks him over? Can we separate that? Can we put him on planet Uranus, which we probably should? Let's put him on planet Uranus.
And off he goes to the planet known as Uranus.
Let's see if I can put I don't have a Travis Kelce graphic. I'll have to find one in a minute. We'll put Travis Kelce on planet Uranus. Can we put him on planet Uranus like we did Alvin Kamara last offseason and still tout the hell out of drafting him? Because we drafted Kamara better than anybody. We drafted Kamara up and down the draft board when he was on a best ball 8th and 9th round pick. We won leagues off of it. We drafted Alvin Kamara in redraft in 6 and 7. We helped walk people into championships because of it. But we were objective and we were honest and unbiased by saying he was a tool. And we put him on planet Uranus list. So we're putting Kelce on planet Uranus 100%. 100%. But where do we draft him? I'll be honest. On Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty, where you can drop a $10 minimum and they'll double it, or you can drop up to $100 and they'll double your first deposit regardless. Let me drop that link in the live chat. Let me pin that link in the live chat. It's in the description of every video. I'm seeing him in the 4th round consistently. Now, I wonder if this win does something. I wonder if he climbs up draft boards in an extreme fashion. Let me pin that link. Underdog Fantasy, link's been pinned. So play Underdog. Their drafts are already out for 2024. We're going to draft probably at least 3 or 4 nights a week during the graveyard shift. So if you want to draft with me, hit that link right now. And Underdog, again, will double your first deposit up to $100. The link's in the chat. The link's in the description for the replays. People watching replays. And code Smitty gets it done. We'll be drafting. Round 4. I'm on board for round 4. Raise your hand if you want to draft Kelce in round 4. Raise your hand. I don't want to, but it's smart. I won't do it in every league, but it's smart to do it in a couple leagues. Round 4, he could easily produce 3 or 4 or top 5 tight end numbers, even with some missed games, even with a slight decline in value. I think there's still opportunity for him to help you significantly at round 4 value. Again, just not all eggs in one basket because players drop off. He's 35 years old in 2024. He's playing 2024 the entirety of the season at the age of 35. And there's just a lot of risk for like season-ending injuries, nagging injuries, the kind of injuries that even make you a bust at 4th round value when you could get another 4th round player that's a lot safer. I personally would take the chance in at least a couple, let's say 15-20% of my leagues, I'll take Travis Kelce in round 4. Raise your hand if you take him in round 4. Put a thumb up, put an eggplant emoji, put a fire emoji, put a thumb down emoji if you won't take him no matter what. And that's fine. There are some people that will stand on principle. I respect that. I can't play that game. I'm here to deliver a service that says money or winning above all for my viewers, and I have to tell you how it is. Kelce's a steal in the round 4 territory. If he goes into round 3, I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no because there are too many players I like better in round 3. There are too many players that have the same amount of upside he does, but less risk than he does. So I'm going to say round 3, negative Ghost Rider. Round 4, let's do it live in 15% of leagues. 15 to 20% of leagues, I'd say. Mahomes, I think Josh Allen's still QB1 in fantasy. Josh Allen runs like a monster, throws like a monster, scores touchdowns like a monster. Had, 45 total touchdowns at the entirety of his 2024 play through the regular season and playoffs, scoring like a machine. And I think Josh Allen's going to win a Super Bowl in the next 3 years. He'll win a Super Bowl in one of the next 3 years. That's not bias talking. I know I want it. I know I talk about it. I know I love Josh Allen. I know I'm always talking up the Bills, but it's from an objective point of view. I truly believe he will win a Super Bowl in one of the next 3 years. And anybody that thinks it can't happen is just, the Bills are the Bills, the Bengals are the Bengals, the Lions are the Lions. It all changes, my guy. It doesn't just stay the way it is because it's historically been bad for a team. Teams turn it around. And the Bills have one of the most phenomenal teams in the NFL without even a great wide receiver. One, Kincaid's going to evolve this upcoming season. Keep in mind, TJ Hawkinson had like a 100-yard game and a touchdown in week 1 of his rookie year and fell flat the majority of his rookie year. Kincaid played fantastic for a rookie. And Kincaid's going to take a major step forward in year 2. Be a reliable wide receiver for Josh Allen. And even if they bring in somebody like, I don't know, we look at the wide receiver free agency board and we say to ourselves, they could bring in, let's say Pittman doesn't get franchise tagged. Let's say they bring in, Higgins, who could get franchise tagged or brought back. All these guys, there's not a lot of wide receiver options. Hard to say what's going to happen, but let's say Buffalo brings in Higgins. I'm not worried about Kincaid. There's 45 touchdowns to go around in Buffalo that Josh Allen scored, some of them on his own, right? But there's tons of opportunity. You only need Kincaid to get 8, 9, or 10 of them. We hope he gets double digits, but it's going to be fine. Kincaid's going to be a trusted asset for Josh Allen. So Mahomes is not QB1 in fantasy to me. He's QB1 in the NFL, though, from a football perspective. But is he a round 3 lock? He is for me. He is for me. I think when you look at a draft board and you say to yourself, okay, where are we drafting these guys? Let's say, remember, let's see, we've gone through a few different scenarios. Mahomes in round 3 is golden. That's a lock. Would I take, like I said, Kelce in round 4? Sure. Where's Josh Allen? Do I have Josh Allen on here? I do have Josh Allen. Josh Allen is the only second round quarterback that should be taken in 2024. Mahomes taken in round 3. Stroud is definitely tempting to grab, I think, anywhere in the 4 territory. Some might say 3. Where are we at here? I guess Jalen Hurts. Where's Jalen Hurts? Do we have Jalen Hurts anywhere? Jalen Hurts, I would say round 3. Mahomes in round 3. Hurts in round 3. Josh Allen in round 2. Kelce in round 4. That's how I see it right now. I think none of those are too high. I think some of those might not actually be capable of happening, let's say, closer to the season. But right now, that feels like the ADP. It feels like good ADP. It feels like acceptable ADP. I'm down for all of that. Is Laporta the new Kelce, says Perps? Absolutely. The only tight end we're taking number 1 overall out of all tight ends in 2024 is Sam Laporta. There's no hesitation. He's the first tight end off the board. There's no dilemma. There's no debate. Kelce's now a 4th rounder. He's now tight end 3 or maybe 2 if you want, but 3 or 4, and it's a good value. You're not risking the biscuit on it. It's solid value, solid risk versus reward for Kelce in round 4. Laporta in round 3 is pretty good. I think 2 is a little early. It's arguable later on, but right now it's not because the ADP is not there. I think Laporta is safe and smart in the middle of round 3. And Kelce, like I said, round 4. So give me Sam Laporta round 3. I'm fine with that all day long. McBride probably, Vampy, McBride's probably tight end number 2 to me. But McBride, the crazy part about it, though, is McBride is not going anywhere near round 4. He's going around 5 or round 6 sometimes. It depends. So McBride, you could say I'll pass on Kelce in round 4 if I can get McBride at the top of 5 or mid 5. So, it just kind of depends. G-Money dropping a $20 hauler. G-Money, you still here? I'm sorry, I just saw this right now. G-Money, $20 hauler. Niners got exposed. Laughing emoji, says G-Money. G-Money, you still here? I want to make sure you hear me fire off the boss horn for you for dropping the 20 watt. Appreciate you, G-Money, coming in strong with the 20 watt. Smitty, a reacher, says Cartman. Cartman, thanks. I take that as a compliment. Smitty, do I have your blessing for Laporta at the 2-3 turn? Not on the frequent, bro. I would say in a couple leagues, do a couple of those, but do not make that a regular thing. You don't want to drive Laporta's value up to the top of 3. You want it to be like 3.5 if you can. If the ADP follows you up to 3.1, then I sign off on it once the ADP's there. But my advice to you, Prankster, is to constantly use the ADPs to allow you to draft different teams and diversify your best ball portfolio, your beat-a-ball portfolio. Because if you can get Laporta 8 times out of 10 at 3.5 and 3.6 and 3.7 and 3.8, just use those draft slots to consume Laporta round 3. Don't also ruin all your other chances of having different players in round 3. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, McBride. There's a reason McBride's on the. Is it Marsman?
He's on a shuttle to Mars.
There he is, Trey McBride. The ray of your sunshine.
Spinning aimlessly in space.
Look at that man, the beautiful man with the master plan. Steal of tight end drafting in 2024. We did a video on this when I realized. Let's go look at Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty ADP data. Let's see where McBride's still going. Are people smartening up? Are they smartening up, or are they literally sleeping at the wheel with McBride still? Let's take a look at the pre-draft ADP. McBride, he's now climbed to tight end 3 like we predicted. We were on this from the beginning as soon as the best balls dropped, and it wasn't just one day or two. It was weeks full of drafting so far. We were stealing McBride away as tight end 4-5. Now he's cemented into tight end 3. His ADP is 51.2 instead of 68. We've absolutely, I think, exposed that ADP glitch. But 51.2 is still solid. I mean, Kelce's going 10 ADP draft slots above McBride. So when I say go ahead and take Kelce in a couple round 4s, I still feel very good about that. And then the rest of them, I'm trying to hit, McBride in round 5 and do it live and smash the hell out of that. So diversify, Prankster, diversify. Is G-Money still here? G-Money, where you at? G-Money, where you at? All right, G-Money, I'm firing it off.
Alert. Super chat alert. Alert. Super chat alert.
We need to come up with different play calls for the boss horn. Like that will be called the big swan or something like that. The gray swan. then the say hello to my little horn, Scarface Tommy gun, and then we'll have I don't know. We could definitely have, like, in your super chat, you request what kind of boss horn you want thrown down. Okay? G-Money, appreciate you. Where's G-Money at? I don't see G-Money. Is G-Money here? G-Money. Thank you for the $20 holler. There he is. He's still here, Smitty. Okay, thank you, G-Money. I just want to make sure you saw your boss horn holler. Laporta, the new Kelce, absolutely. Prankster, again, utilize ADP, not just because... you should grab your guy, you know what I mean? But you're going to have plenty of opportunities for Laporta. Use those other 3.1, 3.2 draft slots to get a couple other guys. that might fall. Try a couple of Josh Allens if he falls to 3.1. Try a Mahomes once in a while. Mahomes will fall to round 4 in Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty early best ball drafts, though. Mahomes is becoming a steal in round 4. I've gotten him in round 5 before. I don't know if that's going to continue. People are fickle. We are a fickle human race. We are fickle. And what's going to happen is the Super Bowl is going to make a lot of casual Calebs be like, I'm going to draft Mahomes. He's pretty good. And now he's going to climb 4 or 5 ADP spots. You know, maybe even a half a round just because people are fickle. The Morse code, yeah, Morse code, the gray swan. So let me give you a couple of different examples of the Boss horn, okay? Let's do a. This is the gray swan. This is the Morse code, and this is the say hello to my little horn. Those right now are the 3 requests that you can request. If you want to come up with something else, you can request it. I'll do it, and we'll coin it. We'll coin it, and it'll be part of the family. All right. Appreciate all the super chats. Appreciate all the support. You guys are absolute marvels. First person in the building tonight was Perps. Perps with a yo. G Money with the yo. Lupo with a yo. Ron Navy was next in the building. Appreciate everybody being here, and appreciate everybody filing on in. Yo comes from most likely the yo. Welcome to the show. That we always say at the top. So appreciate everybody dropping the yos. All right, I guess we'll move on to the next piece of news. Next piece of news is this one right here. We've got the Kelce out of the way. This is a related item, I believe. If it will load. I believe this is Andy Reid not retiring like some other speculation was. I haven't really thought about it when discussing the possibility of retiring. And that was not for this year. That was in general. And he said that after he had said, let me see, I have to come across that other piece of, I think this might be it. Andy Reid was asked, is he retiring? He's not. He's going to play 2024, no doubt about it. There's no question, there's no hesitation. Then there was a follow-up that said, Andy Reid, are you thinking about retiring? And his answer was, I haven't really thought about it. So that is not about, oh, maybe he'll retire, maybe he won't this year. He's already confirmed he's playing 2024. This is about in general, meaning he might not be retiring in 2025. He hasn't really thought about it. Mac Jones, according to reports, likely a trade candidate in the weeks to come. We'll see what kind of trade interest that man can garner up. I don't really know that a team's going to give up much at all for him. Maybe, though, a team that wants a good, solid backup plan, if, let's say, the NFL draft doesn't go properly, would love to have his services in case things go awry. So maybe someone can have him for a late draft pick. The Justin Fields sweepstakes. The Bears they want historic compensation for their number 1 overall pick in 2024. There are a lot of people that were saying that I was off base by saying that the Bears would ask for a first rounder. It sounds like maybe the Bears might want at least a second turn conditional first rounder, or maybe they'll ask for a first rounder. Maybe they won't get it, but I think the Bears are going to look at this as like, let's try and get the world for them. But the one thing I will say is that if it doesn't work out, you're still putting this in the head of Justin Fields that we want to get rid of you if the price is right. You are our second choice. You are a backup plan. Plan number 1 is to sell you for whatever we can and draft Caleb Williams, or maybe they quietly like Drake May, which I think is still in a possibility people need to understand is out there. But Fields, Fields does not want to stay in Chicago. Chicago is destined to fail. They got Shane Waldron from freaking Seattle. And if you ask any Seattle player, how was Shane Waldron? They'll tell you, not that good. And when JSN was asked about him, he said, what do you think about Shane Waldron going over to Chicago? Think he'll have success over there? Are we live? Yeah, no, we're not live right now. I'm just kidding. He's a nice guy. He's a nice guy. JSN had nothing good to say about him until they pressed him. Then a couple people will say, Smitty, you didn't watch the whole interview. I did watch the whole interview. And that was his natural first reaction. And then when he had to open up more, he felt awkward. He started saying, yeah, he's good at this, he's good. He's not good at that, he's not good at that, he's not good at that. I'll tell you that right now. He went to Chicago. Shane Waldron went to Chicago. Getsy, who failed Justin Fields, is now in LV. Not a good signing by LV, by the way. LV looking down a little bit in my mind after that stupid move, in my opinion. I don't like Getsy. I think that's stupid. And now Shane Waldron is over from Seattle, over in the Chicago Bears situation. He's there to cultivate Fields or Caleb. This guy's been coaching since 2002 and didn't get his first offensive coordinator shot, I think, until 2021 with Seattle. And I'm not impressed. Don't color me impressed. I'm not impressed. And I don't know why you would put the hands of a player like Caleb in the hands of Waldron or Justin Fields, who needs to be cultivated specifically by somebody that really knows what they're doing. Maybe Waldron proves me wrong, but he has no track record for me to be like, yeah, this is the guy that's going to fix Fields, or this is the guy that's going to lift up a QB like Caleb Williams. There's a lot of buzz right now, a lot of buzz that Washington is really strongly poking around to see if they can move up to 1, because Cliff Kingsbury, the OC at USC, this very past season, was Caleb's QB coach. This very last season in football is now the OC, Cliff Kingsbury, in Washington, and he wants Caleb Williams bad. He wants him bad. If he doesn't get him, they'll want Fields. If he doesn't get Fields, they'll draft JD5, in my opinion. They'll be set. Kingsbury's going to ignite whatever quarterback gets sent into his system. And let me say this. I'm actually pretty excited about any quarterback. And if Caleb gets drafted, a quarterback I'm not super high on is like everybody else, but I'm open-minded about him in the right spot. I'm okay with Caleb in Washington under Kingsbury's command, because that's his quarterback, and that's Caleb Williams' OC. These guys know each other. I believe Caleb develops in Washington under Kingsbury in this situation, this Washington Commander tripod of a coaching situation that I love greatly. I love what they're doing in Washington. I love what they're doing in Atlanta. It's a blueprint of success that I think is going to be transcending into the future. You've got this guy, Adam Peters, at the top, the puppet master, doing everything from the top, scouting, bringing in and bringing the right people together. Dan Quinn, defensive-minded head coach hire. I love it because Kingsbury's in charge of the offense. Same thing with Raheem Morris and Zach Robinson. This total LA Rams situation planted right here in Atlanta. The Atlanta Rams are in full effect. Bijan Kyron, Drake London, Puka Nacua. Whatever quarterback they get, Penix Jr., Russell Wilson, or maybe Justin Fields, Matthew Stafford. Get ready. Rinse and repeat. Do it live. Washington, Atlanta on the come up. You can make fun of Washington. They're the Commanders. You can make fun of Atlanta. They're the Falcons. They're on the come up. And you can either watch, you can get on the train, get on the caboose, we got room in the back, or you can watch from afar. We'll wave to you from the train as we pull away so far away you can't catch up and even jump back on the train. Justin Fields, I hope he gets out, because Shane Waldron will fail him. Justin Fields will probably fail in Chicago. Caleb Williams will probably fail in Chicago. Whichever quarterback is drafted to Chicago will probably fail, because Ryan Poles is maybe good at a few things. Was his trade solid? Yes. Was his OC hire good? No. Do I think they're making the right move with Fields if they trade him away? No. Will they trade him? Will they hold him? Well, they're talking about trading him. You know, what good is that with his self-confidence? If they end up keeping him, he feels like he's their second choice. I think Fields is destined to fail. Chicago, destined to fail. This is a team I liked last offseason, admittedly. But this is an adjust and adapt situation, as every situation is. And I'm out on Chicago. I don't think they're turning this thing around. Mac Jones, like I said, there'll be some conversation about whether he is available and for what price. It sounds like he is available. And we got a few other pieces of news here. We got Perps dropping a $20 hauler. Perps, I hope you're still in the building. Smitty, you forgot you got room on planet Uranus for what player? Let's see here. Ekeler. We'll talk about Ekeler in a second. We got this right here from Perps. $20 hauler. What about Perps edition Boss Horn style? Does that exist? Perps edition Boss Horn style. Does that exist? If so, curious to hear what it is. Perp style. What would the perp style be? I guess perps would be... Maybe perps is a rapid fire. Just... We'll call that the perp walk. The perp walk. All right, there you go, perps. Perps with the perp walk. Thank you, pal.
Alert. Super chat alert.
$20 super chat, perps to the freaking moon. Thank you, perps. Appreciate you. Austin Ekeler. Chargers head coach Jim Harbaugh said running back Austin Ekeler is a tremendous back. We love to keep him on the Chargers. This is going to be interesting if they keep him on the Chargers. Is this him placating the situation? Is this him being civilized and just polite to Austin Ekeler? Eckler's going to want a big deal. He's going to go test free agency. Is he going to get it? I don't think he will. Could he get some sort of job, loan job, feel like he'll be used as the workhorse? The problem with this situation is I don't see Harbaugh using Ekeler as a workhorse. And Ekeler probably believes he is a workhorse. Maybe he feels like his body can't keep up, though. Maybe he's being honest with himself. And he says, look, I can't do this up-the-gut stuff anymore. I need to be used as a rotational back that can have, major success catching the football. Smitty, you forgot. We got room on Uranus. Jake, their lack of cute quarterback play. Smitty, Uranus was for the Falcons and Redskins naysayers. Oh, I got you. We can definitely put him on there. Ekeler does not feel like a Harbaugh guy. So I don't know how this is going to work out. But I would say that Ekeler to me feels like he's gone. But stranger things have happened. Could he be elsewhere? Could he be in LA? Sure. So we got Andy Reid. We got Travis Kelce. Let me put all these pieces of news over in the corner. We're almost done with the news, and then we'll open the phone lines. So we got Ekeler. Who is this? I got this piece of news. I got, I think one of these is Andy Reid in his original, he's going to play 2024 out. There's no thought of retirement this year for Andy Reid. Adam Peters. Okay, here's what I was talking about earlier. According to a few reports, NFL Network being one of them, insiders connected to the situation are saying the Commanders are expected to check in and poke around, like I mentioned, with the Bears trading the number 1 overall pick. This is what Kingsbury wants most of all. I believe Kingsbury would be very satisfied with JD5, Jaden Daniels, who we absolutely love, and I have him on the Saturn Man list.
The Saturn Men.
One small step.
Look at him!
One
He's beautiful!
leap for Saturn.
Saturn! Look at him! Look at him! Look at that monster. JD5's going to freaking be a baller in the right spot. I hope that Adam Peters gets disappointed with Caleb and doesn't get him, and the Bears draft him number 1 overall and either trade Adam Peters Fields or they draft JD5. That's what I want most of all. I think Caleb would survive with Kingsbury and Adam Peters. I really do. I think Caleb could do well. But JD5 becomes the next Lamar Jackson. Justin Fields becomes an elite quarterback under Peters and Kingsbury in this whole entire staff. I love the trio going on in Washington. I love Dan Quinn and Adam Peters as GM. Dan Quinn and Kingsbury. It's a match made in heaven. A tripod of management and staff. It's fantastic. So Peters to the moon. Peters, send Peters to the moon, please. Can we get Peters on the moon?
To the moon.
How about we send Peters to Saturn? Can we get
To Saturn.
Can we get Peters to Saturn? Is that too much to ask? And finally, I believe we might have 2 pieces of news here. 2 more pieces of news. As I dragged everything on screen, and it takes forever for it to get onto my screen. This right here, this little number, Kirk Cousins, NFL Network insiders report Vikings are hoping to re-sign Kirk Cousins this offseason. Don't even know whether this is true or not. Don't know if this is, let's keep all of our ducks in a row. Let's make Kirk happy. Let's definitely explore like we've been doing every offseason. They've literally been trying to go in a different direction every offseason through the draft. They wanted Anthony Richardson very, very openly. They couldn't get that trade done to get up and a high enough pick to draft him. They've been wanting to potentially go in different directions. You're telling me the year he comes back from an Achilles tear, this is what they want now for long-term options. Now, from a Justin Jefferson perspective, we definitely need a quarterback. And if I had to pick the unknown, not knowing what the Vikings were going to do, would they get Penix Jr.? Would they have the balls to draft Penix Jr.? Would somebody make a stupid decision and try and bring in a QB like Mac Jones? No offense, put your earmuffs on, my New England Patriot people. Like, that would be a travesty. Would I rather have the unknown or Cousins? I'd probably rather have Cousins for JJ. So if I could press a button right now and just get a deal done just so we have Cousins in Minnesota, I probably would hit the button. You know, do I think there's a better opportunity than Cousins for the long term? Absolutely. If I'm a Vikings fan, Perps is a Vikings fan, not even trying to talk fantasy football or JJ, right? JJ's impact. What do I think the team should do if I was a fan of the Vikings? Let Cousins go. Start working on the future. Bring in Penix Jr. Bring in Bo Nix. Bring in Russell Wilson. I mean, you could... Maybe not Russell Wilson. I think Russell Wilson could be okay, but he's not. You'd rather have Cousins. But definitely would rather have Penix Jr., Bo Nix, you know, something to that variety. But I would say Cousins over Russell, even for the long term, just because I don't know what Russell's going to do. I think Russell Wilson in Atlanta would be fantastic, given we just need something there. Just a major upgrade's amazing for everybody. Not wanting to show their cards. I think it is smoke. Everything's smoke season. This is if you learn one thing from me, right now until after the NFL draft, it is complete smoke season. Everything you hear could be false. Everything that's leaked to be confirmed to be true is potentially just smoke. Everything is smoke. JD5 to Minnesota would be fantastic, Perps. You'd have to trade up though. I don't think there's any. Maybe if JD5 has a bad pro day or something like that. But Minnesota getting him at 11 seems like a tall order. He seems destined for 2 or 3 overall. I think New England wouldn't pass on JD5, so I think you got to get into the 2 or 3 overall pick. And as I will continue to stand on with aggression, that the team that wants to have the best draft, the best turnaround in the offseason here, the best 2024 offseason in terms of acquisition, draft, and trade, and revamping the team and the unit, the coaching staff, everything, it would be the team that trades for Justin Fields using second rounders and drafts Marvin Harrison Jr. Washington and New England have a shot to be the best turnaround franchises of the offseason by drafting Marvin Harrison Jr. Either team, New England or Washington, and then getting Fields in a trade. It's the only move to make. It's the only move to make. Even better than drafting JD5 for Washington. That's the best move to make. It's the best move to make. Fields and Marvin Harrison Jr. is better than just JD5. Fields and Marvin Harrison Jr., New England couldn't dream of a better scenario. But yeah, I mean, Minnesota could trade up to the 1 or to the 2 or 3 overall pick and take JD5. Penix Jr. over Bo Nix. I don't mind that take. I don't mind either take. I don't mind if someone said they wanted Penix Jr. over. They're both very, very good. They're both kind of dependent on where they, where do they land? Where do they land? What's the situation? What's the environment look like? Who's catching footballs? There's a lot that determines whether a player like Bo or Penix can survive. Dak Prescott, NFL Network insiders. Their insiders are busy today at NFL Network. No sources, just random, unsourced, unsighted sources. NFL Network insiders report the Cowboys are expected to sign Dak Prescott to a new deal before free agency. Wow. That's going to be quite a controversial piece of news. Like, here's a guy that people were saying maybe he's it during the year. He's been great during the season, but then he kind of craps the bed, and then now you're going to give him a long-term deal. Now you're fully committed to him. Now you're even further committed to him. We'll see. I mean, honestly, teams would be lucky to have Dak. Like, if we're going to step back from the situation and be honest and objective about it, I mean, how many teams would love Dak Prescott? Falcons, Vikings, Denver Broncos, Las Vegas Raiders. pretty much everybody that's in need of a quarterback right now, everyone would jump to the opportunity to get Dak Prescott. Even if you don't think Dak's a top 5 QB, top 4 QB, he played like one in fantasy in 2024. He gets no respect at all. I admit I'm too down on him half the time. But, I mean, these teams would be thrilled. Washington, New England, the Giants, the Tennessee Titans, the Atlanta Falcons, the Minnesota Vikings, the Denver Broncos, the Las Vegas Raiders, the New Orleans Saints, the Seattle Seahawks, the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Miami Dolphins. They would all drool over getting Dak Prescott. That's half of the league. Half the league would take Dak in a millisecond. So, like, to be honest with you, I think we have a tendency to get too hardcore narrowed down to, is he Mahomes? No, he's not. Okay, he's not. Can they win a Super Bowl every year? No, they're not gonna. Like, why are we judging them that harshly? They had a really good year. When you really look at this, which we got to update this bracket as is finally officially official. Congrats, man. Congrats to the Chiefs, man. Let me circle them and give them their proper christening here on the bracket board. Let's circle the winner. KC wins the game. What a phenomenal game it was. Let me see if I can grab this and put this right over here. KC is the winner of the 2023/2024 Super Bowl. There we go. Let's be honest. The Dallas Cowboys got bumped out early, disappointing. They had a phenomenal year, and I think that sometimes when teams, and this even goes for the Niners, I'm very critical of Shanahan, very critical, and we can talk about this in a second. But like, what is the alternative? You know, you made it to the Super Bowl. It came down to like one play, and you lost because of one amazing drive by Patrick Mahomes. It could have easily been an interception. The game was over. So, like, you know, what more do you want? Like, how do you get closer than that? By getting rid of and revamping and, you know, how do you get closer than the team Dallas had? They misstepped in the playoffs, but, like, what do? You tear it down, take McCarthy out, you take Dak away. Like, how are you going to get this close again? You're already that close. I think people are a little overcritical on everything. You know, Dak is a great quarterback. He's not elite, but he's great. He is good to great, no doubt about it. And his situation's phenomenal. And he's great for CeeDee Lamb. And so this right here, for that alone, standing ovation alone for what it does and solidifies in terms of CeeDee Lamb's future and production. Let's give a standing ovation. Dak Prescott, go get your extension, pal. Go do it live. I'm very, very in favor of a Dak Prescott extension for getting, just on the mere premise of getting CeeDee Lamb'd.
Get lambed.
Getting lambed alone is worth it. I think I'm done. I think the super chats had all been answered up to this point, and I think I'm going to the phone lines now. Perp says, Smitty, the NFL Insiders Super Bowl hangover goggles today. These insiders are busy. These unknown.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Perps with the highest super chat of the year so far. Ray G with the second highest, $2.99 and $2.50. And that doesn't include Perps dropping probably well over that in one given show on exclusive memberships. So, and I do have my thank you board, which I want to pull up once in a while and definitely just make sure I'm throwing thanks to everybody. You know, Garrett had a super chat of 600. He's the second highest ever. Let me change the current 2000 season. Let me see. I got to change this to Perps. Garrett, let me put Garrett over here. Garrett was 600 was second place there. So I'll put that there. Perps has a high of, what did I say it was? 250. So, no, wait. 299. Perps with the high of 299 for the year is the current highest. So let me fix that. Perps to the moon. Anybody wants to knock Perps off, go ahead and do so. Lifetime gifted membership total Perps on the left-hand side, 375, TMT 250, DW 250. And I think I want to say Christopher Smith. Let me fix that on here. Christopher Smith was like, I want to say 250 as well. So I'll put Chris Smith. C. Smith had 250. So appreciate all that. And then we got a bunch of other ones like Jocelyn. I wanted a Niner by Nature, people that have dropped like 200, 100. Anytime I see a big big wad get dropped, I try and put you on some sort of board just to let you know. G Money's been on there with $3.99. Appreciate you all. Phone lines are open. Dial in. Let's go.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
We'll have a little quick discussion here. Dak Prescott, Kirk Cousins. A lot of news today. A lot of stuff kind of happening. Jake gifted 10 YouTube exclusive memberships. Jake, you absolute monster, you. And that qualifies for a boss horn holler.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Jake, you didn't specify, obviously, because you didn't drop a message. So I'm going to give you the swan. The swan.
Alert. Super chat alert.
We gave the gray swan to Jake for dropping those super chats. Appreciate you guys. If you got a super chat from Jake, drop him a fire emoji, a thumbs up, an eggplant, a little smiley heart kiss, whatever you got to do to express your gratefulness for his membership. And anybody wants to dial in, the phone lines are open. Sorry if I missed any calls when I was doing the gray swan, but I wanted to make sure we gave the proper boss horn attention to a man that just gifted 10 exclusive memberships. He has named Toots now. That's awesome, says Huffman. Yeah, those are each of those are Toot. So you get a lot of Toots. At first, when we got it, we're like, beep! We're like scared to use the thing because it's so loud. You don't hear how loud it is. It is extremely loud. What's up, Kentucky? Appreciate you being here. I guess one topic I wanted to have, which we already hit on at the top, was where do we rank CMC? Where do we rank Mahomes? Where do we rank Kelce? And I think for the most part, everybody can agree Kelce's got top 5 tight end value in 2024. I think some people might let the whole hatred for him infect their thinking enough to where you're ranking him 5 and 4 instead of 3. I think McBride's number 2. I think Laporta's number 1. I think Kelce's in the argument for 3. And then you got a grab bag of Kincaid. We love Kincaid. I'm okay with Kincaid as 3 and Kelce 4. You've got a ton of different tight end options that if I go to thefantasyfootballshow.com, which is my year-round rankings, bold predictions, and I take a gander at my own rankings, and I try and come up with a player or two that might maybe surprise at the tight end position. And say, okay, so I'm Laporta 1. I'm looking at it. McBride 2. Kincaid 3 is my ranking. Kelce 4. But Kincaid, Kelce are really close. I would like to rotate those. You got Hawkinson coming off an injury, and he won't be available until at least a month to 6-7 games into the season. So I even have Hawkinson too high on here. I'm looking at it. I got to drop him down. You got Njoku. You got Kittle getting older. You got Mark Andrews who can't stay healthy. You got Evan Ingram who blew up and maybe he needs to move up. Kyle Pitts, does he break out now? Goddard, will he stay healthy and have a great year? Ferguson, Luke Musgrave could break out in a major way. Michael Mayer could break out in a major way. Dalton Schultz, Isaiah Likely, Cade Otton, Cole Kmet. I mean, there's a lot of tight ends I just read off. I feel pretty confident in saying that nobody should feel cemented into their top 10 tight ends. I think that once you get past Laporta and McBride, it is literally a grab bag. It is literally a preference thing. There's nobody should be saying, oh, you can't have Kelce number 3. You can have Kelce 3. You can have him 6. You can't have Kincaid number 3. You can have Kincaid 3. You could have Kincaid 3, 4, 5. You could have Ferguson 5 if you wanted. You could have Ingram 4. You could have Ingram 3 if you wanted. These are all very arguable things. And Luke Musgrave might be one of the craftiest top 5, 6, 7 tight ends in fantasy football 2024 as Jordan Love evolves and Musgrave as a sophomore takes a huge step forward. Like I said, Hawkinson did literally nothing but explode in week 1, 100 yards, a touchdown in week 1 of his rookie year, and fell flat the entirety of the season. And your boy came out and ranked him higher than every single expert in the fantasy football industry during Hawkinson's second year. And I ranked number 1 in the entire industry according to a rankings contest calibration, where your boy got number 1 in the entire industry in tight end rankings. I believe I was number 5 in QB rankings that same year. And I had Hawkinson higher than anybody. No one had him tied with me. I had him higher than anybody. And everybody just gave up on him because he didn't explode his rookie year. Tight ends don't explode their rookie year very often. Laporta did. We saw Kincaid do really well. Their explosion year is year 2. It's not year 3 or 4. It's year 2. Luke Musgrave might be a monster in year number 2 as Jordan Love evolves. Get ready for it. Musgrave might be a moon man if we're not careful. If we're not really, really careful. Brevin Jordan looked good. Yeah, can he stay healthy? Will he be? I don't know. I like him enough, I suppose. You know, Brevin Jordan's decent. Do I think Jelani Woods is also a nice, deep sleeper tight end? Absolutely. But the tight end pool is very deep. You almost don't even... That's a backup. You don't need to like be counting on guys like that. Like Cole Kmet's almost a bench tight end this year in 2024. The tight end pool is deep as hell. It's crazy. There's no drought of tight ends now. Tight end is almost the most rich position in fantasy football. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. Perp's dropping a $20 hauler. Let's see what he wants now. Chat, we have 100 live in the live and only 48 thumbs up. What's going on with that? 48 thumbs up. What are we doing here? 51 thumbs up now. 100 of you in here and only 51 thumbs up. Please wipe your feet. It helps me help you. Help me help you. Help Perps help you. We need to get those numbers up. Remember, people, hit that on the way in. Let's do it live for Smitty. Perps, you didn't request anything, so I'm going to give you the Perp Walk because that's really your thing. You know what I'm saying?
Alert. Super chat alert.
Perp Walk, Boss, Horn Holler, do it live. Appreciate you, Perps, for dropping the 20 watt on screen. You are the man, the myth, the legend, the man known as Perps, the guy that does the Perp Walk better than anybody we know. What's that sound? That's me on my horse for 2024, ready to go. You know I'm going to be bringing it all off season long. I told you all, you guys that have been with me for just the in-season and you just found the channel, the off-season's bigger, stronger, faster, more hard-hitting, more live streams, more interactive, more aggressive, more fun than even the in-season. The off-season crushes the in-season. I'm not trying to kick my own nuts, bro, but my off-season content destroys my in-season content just because we got so much amazing topics and live streams and emergency live streams. We do in-season better than anybody too, but our off-season is untouchable. Because no one has the, no offense, but the tenacity to come and do this daily the way we do it. Nobody. I'm going to take a little time off. I'm going to take a little... I met with some people, at the Underdog House and hanging out. And it's like, I feel like I talked to a lot of different people. They're all taking like a week off content, not doing any content while they're hanging out at the house. They took the whole Super Bowl weekend off. I'm like, I can't think like that. I can't think. There's no time off. This is a show that needs to grow every single day. And you are a consumer that requires content every day. I'll tell you what, I watch like the news. I'm kind of into politics and the news, and I like watching the news at night. It's kind of just something, it's different than football too, so it gives me some sort of outlet of sorts. I enjoy waiting for certain news programs that I have on my DVR or whatever on YouTube TV. And I'll go to my library and I'll play them. And when they're off for a week, it pisses me the hell off. Like, what are you doing off? Especially when they take off like 2 weeks. It's like right before Christmas or something. They're literally no new shows for like 6-7 days. It pisses me the hell off. I don't operate that way. Dad didn't. That's not how Dad did it. That's not how I do it. And we're doing it live. Perps gifting 50 gifted. What in the... What are we doing? 50 gifted memberships. You better thank Perps, because if you're in here and you don't have gifted memberships turned on, that's a shame for you, because about 40 to 50 of you already have memberships, green names in the chat. That means the remaining people in here, every single one of you would have 100%, especially with Hob G dropping 20 right now, 100% you would have gotten a free gifted membership had you turned on that feature in your YouTube settings. If you aren't getting one today, you don't have it turned on. You better fix that today because you just missed out. Jake gifting 10, Hob G gifting 20, Perps gifting 50. That's 80 gifted memberships in about 14 seconds. Here we go for Perps.
Alert. Super chat alert.
That's the Perp walk. We're going to give Hob G the Gray Swan.
Alert.
And
Super chat alert.
we're going to give Jake the say hello to my little horn. Wow. Hob G to the moon. Jake to the moon. And Perps to the moon. And I think Superfish might have gifted 10 memberships as well. Let's give Superfish the swimming... The swimming... I don't know. What is it? What do we call Superfishes? Let's give Superfish the swimming seagull. How about the escalator? How about take the stairs? And we just added 2 more. we've got the escalator. We've got the stairs. We got the swimming seagull. And really, I can do a... I can do a couple different ones. We could definitely do... We'll have a whole, like, smorgasbord of different options. I still don't get the gifted. I'm cool being one of the only gray names left, says Great Scott. No, because you can't use the emojis. All you got to do is turn it on, Great Scott. Somebody walk Great Scott on how to turn on his gifted membership acceptance so we can accept it. Let's see here. Isaac with a $5 hauler. Yo, Smitty, hope all is well. Pumped for the off-season content. Question, 10-man league, PPR keeper league. Pick 1. Bijan round 2, Gibbs round 3, Amon-Ra round 2, JT round 3, go. Gibbs round 3, pretty easy. I think Gibbs is arguably a top 1 to 4 player anyway, and he's the latest round, anyway, of these options. He ties JT as the latest round keeper. So give me Gibbs in round 3. That's fantastic. You really got to look at it from a perspective of you get the first rounder, second rounder, and Gibbs now instead of a first rounder, Bijan, and then a third rounder. It's just going to be a better team. So appreciate you dropping the super chat, Isaac. And man, Perps is just going nuts. Perps with a $100 hauler. Perps, here's a little gift for all of your efforts and awesome Super Bowl Sunday 6+ hour live stream. I was with you from the Rumble live all the way through the end of the live. I enjoyed this past year. Thanks for the hard work and great content, Smitty. Perps, unbelievable. What do you call those things that you ride? They're not the scooter, but the 2-wheel. What do you call them? Where they have the balance, the gyro, whatever, and they're not scooters. They're like the 2-wheeled. Like the mall cops have them. What are those things called? I'm blanking out on what they're called. I know one of you's gonna help me real quick on it. Perps, appreciate you on the $100. But we could add also Kyle says, thanks for the monthly membership to whatever person gave it, Jake or Superfish. Superfish, appreciate you. Segway. So, Perps, what do you want? Do you want the Segway boss horn? Do you want the seagull swimming whatever? Do you want the escalator? Do you want the stairs? Do you want the elevator? You want the elevator? The moped? No, not the moped. You want the elevator? We got the elevator as well, Perps. Or do you want the perp walk? You choose your boss horn delivery method, and I will deploy it to your liking and specification, because I work for all of you. So if you want, Perp says, Smitty, the 50 gifted memberships were for the 80 plus people who hung with us all the other day. Thank you, Perps. I appreciate you dropping that. And everybody in here 100% should have a gifted membership, unless they don't. We still got to give away the hoodie. No doubt about it. I'm going to create a post. I was supposed to do it last night, but I'm going to create a post on Instagram. We'll keep the gifted hoodie, the Super Bowl gifted hoodie giveaway. We'll extend it until tomorrow. So tomorrow I'll come on the live and give some instructions. I'll post that Instagram post. If you want to get a jump on it, look for the IG post that will... Actually, you know what? Let's do this. Everybody go follow... Let's see here. Let me go to Grindhouse's page right here. Grindhouse on Instagram. Everybody go to Grindhouse on Instagram. It's Grindhouse Supply. I'll show you how to spell it right now. And let me drop this to myself real quickly on my screen, and then I'll instruct you on how to win that hoodie. What does Perps want? I want the Bijan TD Celebration Boss Horn. Superfish gifted another 10 memberships. We're going to have to do a celebration for that as well. Superfish, what do you want? Do you want the elevator? No one's requested the elevator yet. All right, here is the... Thank you, Superfish, for dropping another 10 gifted memberships. It's amazing. Here's Grindhouse's IG. Go to Grindhouse's IG, and it's going to be GRNDHAUS Supply. They spell Grindhouse differently, okay? Go to Grindhouse. They have 888 followers. I'm only going to give away the hoodie once they reach 930 followers. 920 followers. 920 followers. That's less than 40 followers. So go follow Grindhouse, and I want you on their most recent post, which is the Love is in the Air, 20% off. I want you to tag 3 people. Make sure you're following Grindhouse, and in that tagging 3 people in the comments, say something nice about Grindhouse. Go do it now. They've got literally 0 comments on there right now, so you're not competing with anybody right now. Go to Grindhouse. Go to their most recent Love is in the Air post that they have that says 20% off. Tag 3 people, follow them, and say something nice about Grindhouse. I'll be picking a winner on the Wednesday show. On the Wednesday show live, I will scroll through, grab a random name, and you win a Grindhouse hoodie. What's a Grindhouse hoodie look like? Let me show you what a Grindhouse hoodie looks like. Glad you asked, Bob. Glad you asked. Let me show you. I've got a surprise in store for you. This right here, ladies and gentlemen, is called the Spider Hoodie. And the blue lights in here make it look a little different. This is a bright yellow. It's not seems a little different color on here. It's a bright yellow hoodie. It's on the back, real quickly, on the back of the hoodie, it shows Spider. This is an old, like cult classic movie, Spider. On the front, it shows Grindhouse. Grindhouse is our only hoodie and clothing sponsor. We do give away Underdog shirts, but they're not a clothing sponsor. Those are just shirts from Underdog. This is our only legitimate, absolute clothing sponsor. These Grindhouse hoodies are phenomenal. They're amazing. This one right here, Spider Hoodie. It's yellow. It's an amazing yellow. I'm giving this one away. All you got to do is go to Grindhouse. Let me get rid of this score. This information that I've got up here. What am I doing back there? You know, this is old news. I don't even know if this is fully... Yeah, that's final. That's the final score. Let me take this off the screen real quick. And let me take this off the screen real quick. Hold on 1 second. I just want to get rid of this. Come on! Come on! Well, while I'm waiting, look at this Grindhouse hoodie. Look how amazing it is. All you got to do is go to Grindhouse Supply on IG. GRNDHAUS. Grindhouse Supply on IG. Here's the IG handle. Grindhouse Supply, GRNDHAUS. Once they have 820, we'll say 820 followers, we'll ignite it, right? But we're giving away this hoodie live on Wednesday's show, and I'm going to pick a comment in their most recent Love is in the Air post. So tag 3 people. Don't forget to tag 3 people. Someone's going to put, hey, I love Grindhouse, and not tag 3 people, and you won't be eligible. Perp says here, oh, here's a 20 gifted. What does he want? He wants the what was it that Perps wanted? The Bijan one, right?
Alert. Super chat alert.
Okay.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Perps, I hope I don't tear anything. This will be the Bijan. Superfish, appreciate you. I don't have much room in the studio here. I got a boss horn. I got a weight set, my chair, a Joe Burrow helmet, a pile of crap that I got stacked right here. Couldn't move around too much in the studio, but Perps, appreciate you. Superfish, appreciate you. And Perps dropping one more. I think this is correct. If not, please correct me. Jake, Hob G, and Superfish all with 20 gifted memberships. Each total 60. Nice work. Go in the community. You've activated the elevator. You've activated the elevator.
Alert. Super chat alert.
You've activated the elevator. I don't have a lot of time. I gotta get out of here. Jake, gifting 10. You magnificent creatures. All of you. Appreciate you. Okay, phone lines are open. I don't know if I broke them again.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
D-Town says Smitty has 25k subs, so buy 25k gifts so I can get one, says D-Town. D-Town, you would have one if you had your memberships turned on. Like, more gifted memberships have been given away by the amount of viewers in here. So if you didn't get one, it's because you don't have it turned on. That's 100%. Great Scott would have one. Blunt would have one. Well, let's see here. Great Scott might have one now. Great Scott would have one. Blunt does have it. I'm sorry. Great Scott doesn't have one. D-Town doesn't have one. You guys are the only ones in here because you don't have it turned on. So just go turn it on, bro. Go turn it on. You're the only ones in here. Everybody, what it does is when there's not enough people that have it, it'll gift it out to random people on the channel that aren't on the live. You know, which is awesome. Name your top 5 underrated. Let's see here. Hold on. Let me get Blunt's question on here. Smitty, name your top 5 underrated was coming into new season. Not sure what you're trying to say here, Blunt. Maybe repeat that. My top 5 what, though? Running backs, quarterbacks, is that what you're asking? I think I fixed the phone line. I don't know what's going on with my damn phone line. Bruce, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
What's up, Brucey?
My question is, if Ekeler isn't a hardball guy, who do you think is?
Ground and pound. You know, like Barkley, Henry, Josh Jacobs, any of the other free agent monsters that are available.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure. I was like, wait a minute. If Ekeler ain't his guy, who is?
Well, Eckler's not his guy because this is I mean, could I see him wanting to use him and have him in addition to a guy? Yeah. Like if he drafts Blake Corum and has Ekeler, that's good. That's really good use of. He'll be able to do good things with that. But do I think do I think that I don't know. I think they're more likely to bring in a Jacobs. You know.
And if they do let Ekeler walk, where do you think his best spot would be?
The Perps, I'm not sure if Perps so Jake dropped 10 and Perps dropped 20. I don't know if that's new or not. I think that's new. If it isn't, I don't know. I'm dropping. There's so many gifted memberships going on. I think that's new. 20 from Perps. Appreciate you. I'm sorry. Repeat the question, Bruce.
I said, where would Ekeler's spot be? Where would you think his best spot would be?
I'm eventually going to put up a divisions board so I don't have to pull up the draft order. I know it. I just love looking at the draft board when I think about teams and where someone could go. And just because you get such a good like vibe of like, you know, what their needs are, what pick they have. And I think like Ekeler to... Well, I'm just throwing this out there. What if Ekeler went to D-Town, just became a member on his own? D-Town to the moon. D-Town, appreciate you. D-Town on his own said, you know what? I can't figure out how to change this setting. I'm just going to become a member, damn it. And he did it all on his own. D-Town, appreciate you. D-Town to the moon. What if Washington brought him in?
Hey, that wouldn't be bad.
You know, you draft JD5, you don't get the receiver you necessarily, were like Marvin Harrison Jr., but you got Dotson and McLaurin. You don't really need a receiver. They really don't. I mean, but Marvin Harrison Jr. is so generational. But what if they brought Ekeler into Washington? Washington, Houston, Cincinnati, Philly. Philly, they lose Swift, who's a free agent. Houston, Dallas, probably not. They want to ground. They don't want to go Pollard the way of Pollard. Buffalo, Buffalo. I would say Cincinnati, Philly, Houston, Buffalo on this side of the fence here. Great teams that, can win Super Bowls or go deep in the playoffs or whatever. And then on the weaker side of things, teams that don't have quarterbacks that are going to be exploring that in the draft, teams that are just underperforming. I think the best bet is probably like Las Vegas might look into it. Denver could. Minnesota could. Washington, New England shouldn't. They got Ramondre. Chicago probably could look at, depends how costly it is just to develop their quarterback, I guess, but it wouldn't be like the brightest move. New York Giants, maybe they look into it. I don't know. It's a tough question, man. I think his best bet's go to one of these teams that's like, Buffalo or Cincy or, Baltimore doesn't feel like a good fit, but they could look at it and just say like a rotational. I don't know. I think Baltimore's going after Jacobs or Henry or Barkley. I think they want to grind it out between the tackle monster.
I'll stay out of Minnesota. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, I don't know how much Ekeler's got left in the tank, but in the right spot, like Henry, I could be very interested.
And there's another question. What happens to Pollard? Like, what's his value if Henry does go there?
Well, he's a free agent, so we don't know where Pollard's going to be. He's an unrestricted free agent. Yeah, he's him, Jacobs, Henry, Swift, Barkley, Ekeler, Dillon, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Singletary, Gus Edwards, J.K. Dobbins, among a few others. Pollard could go. I mean, damn, man. I don't know. I don't know if he's going to get the job he wants. He's probably going to go somewhere and share carries, man. I don't know. Like, Tennessee, Tennessee's got Spears, but will they try and bring in a player between the tackles? Will they draft a guy between the tackles? Will someone like Tennessee or a rebuilding team take a I don't know. Like, even if we look at, like, Blake Corum's going to potentially be, drafted by a team that might need a starter. I think the Chargers are everybody's popular pick for Blake Corum, and it makes a lot of sense. Jonathan Brooks could go to somewhere like Tennessee or New York Giants, a team that can wait on him because he might not be fully healthy right away. He's recovering from an ACL tear, but had he not been in recovery right now, and trying to get healthy, I think Jonathan Brooks would have been the number one running back taken in very, very decent, like, high second-round pick. But now we don't know where anybody's going to take a running back. Blake Corum will probably be taken as the first RB, and I think the Chargers will definitely be tempted to bite on that.
Oh, okay.
Brucey to the moon. How you doing, Bruce?
Living the American dream.
Yep. You enjoy Super Bowl Sunday?
Yeah.
Is your mom going to give us another clip like Baked In Boys, and can we get Bijan? When can I expect a Get Bijan Robinson? When can I get that, Bruce? A video clip. I want a video clip.
Probably on the weekend.
Okay, we'll be expecting everybody in here. We need to hold Bruce accountable. We need a video clip of his mom saying Get Bijan Robinson. She is the creator, a legend on this channel. This is the voice you hear is Bruce's mom. She did this for us. It was unbelievable. We'll never forget it. It's glory. It's a staple in the show. Where is it? Where's my Baked In? Where's my Baked In, boys? Here it is. Baked In, boys. That's Bruce's mom. She's a legend. You know when you hear something like when you hear that, it's almost like it's not even real. This is just like it just is. Like, I don't even picture someone saying that. It's just a sound we know is it's gospel to us. We need a Bijan. Get Bijan Robinson. Get Bijan. Get Devon Achand. Either one of those would do. I think we need a Bijan. We need a Bijan clip.
All right, a Bijan.
All right, yeah. Take care of that.
She's a
what?
She's a Falcons fan, so
okay,
it wouldn't be hard.
So we could get her to say Get Bijan Robinson.
Yeah, she's a Falcons. My dad's a Giants, and I'm a Vikings.
Can we get like a do it live at the end?
Yeah, probably.
Right, a little too much, too much of a request. Get Bijan Robinson. No. Do it live. That's what I want.
I could probably do it.
Okay, Bruce, you do this for me. You do this for me. I'll never ask again. Okay, it can be done. You won't ever get pestered again. It's done. You just need to get Bijan Robinson. Do it live.
All right.
And I want her to say it with anger and passion.
All right. Like I said, she's for like my household. We all have different favorite teams. Mine's Minnesota. Hers is Atlanta, and my dad's is the Giants.
I feel bad for your dad.
He was so mad when they signed Danny Dimes to that contract.
I bet.
He said, I'm going to throw up. He said he's horrible.
I bet he did. Your poor dad. Your dad's got the longest road to a Super Bowl, bro. Out of the three.
Yeah.
you do know that out of the three of you picked some pretty tough roads. I mean, Giants actually had their day, but you picked some pretty tough roads. Right now, you guys are all sitting in doom and gloom. But I think the Falcons are about to turn it around. I think your mom is on the right track. She's got the right team picked out. This is gonna happen.
I keep her idea, and this is just her idea. You may not agree with it, but she said if the Falcons had to, she would give up the 7th overall pick, just the 7th overall pick for Fields.
I probably, if push came to shove, would as well. If you think like your mom's not wrong, like the fair market value for the 8 overall pick is the 8 overall pick. The fair market value for it is definitely like higher than Fields according to the market and everything that everybody's reporting. But I'm just quietly saying why would you not? What are you going to get at 8 that's going to do you more good than getting Fields for London, getting Fields for Kyle Pitts, getting Fields for Bijan, getting Fields for this defense, getting Fields for this offensive line that is going to help immediately because of the fact that defenses are going to have to key and spy on Fields. It's an immediate fix for so many things. And you give Fields to Zach Robinson, who did wonders with Stafford, Puka, and Kyron in LA, comes over from the Rams and is deploying a Rams setup for Drake London, Puka Nacua, for Bijan, Kyron, for Fields, who would be his Stafford, and mobile Stafford. I mean, man, I would surrender the 8 pick in a heartbeat for Fields. I don't have to. It sounds like you could get him for 2 second-round picks, but I'm just telling you, your mom's not wrong. And the fair market value for Fields is not correct. And that's why I think Washington and New England are stupid if they don't trade multiple second-round picks to get and secure Fields and then draft Marvin Harrison Jr. It's the dumbest non-move in the history of football. Fields and Marvin Harrison Jr. sitting right in at your fingertips, and you just let it slip through. Go get Fields. Go tell your mom to do it live.
Yeah,
start a petition.
She said,
she's correct. Your mom's correct.
Yeah, she was like, I think Fields would do better here. I want Fields.
Your mom's
like, hey.
Your mom's right. She's right. Don't argue with Mrs. Bruce, bro. Don't do it.
No, I won't.
All right, hey Bruce, I'm gonna let you go. Appreciate you, bro.
Yep, thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm out of here. Appreciate all the freaking super chat drops and the perps drop and the gifted memberships. We got perps with that $99 hauler, the $50 gifted memberships. We've got. Did I even get to this one? I think I have this correct. Yeah, I did. Thank you, perps, for this one. 50 gifted membership. Man, perps is just dropping fire tonight. Thank you, Superfish, for. Let me see if I can thank everybody and remember every single one of you. Perps, appreciate the gauntlet of supers. Isaac, appreciate you. G Money with the $20 hauler, leading everything off. Gifted 5 memberships. Perps gifted 50. Okay, gifted 10. I got to search for these. Jake gifted 10 memberships. Jake gifted 10 memberships. Superfish gifted 10 memberships. Superfish gifted 10 memberships. Superfish gifted 10 memberships. And Jake gifted 10 memberships. So Superfish and Jake each gifted 30 total memberships. Holy crap. I didn't even notice that both of you, at the end of the day, Jake and Superfish gifted 30 total. 1, 2, 3. Let me see if anybody did. I'm just searching for 15. I don't think there is a 15. 20. Hob G gifted 20. Perps gifted 20. 2, 1. Doing a toot for every 10. Let me try 25. I don't know if anybody gifted 25. 30. No. 40. No. 50. That would be perps. 1. I don't think there's a 60. I don't think there's a 70 and an 80. Yeah, I'm just making sure. I'm just making sure I didn't see. Okay, good. I got everything. I think I took care of everything. All gifted memberships accounted for. Celebratory messages. Celebrates. I don't see any celebration messages that I left out. I think we're good. I think I'm all caught up. I appreciate every single one of you. I'll be live on Rumble or the Dynasty channel, most likely later at some point tonight. I don't know when. Usually it's around midnight Eastern if we do go. I'll try and do both. We'll see. Don't forget to get on over to Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. Links in the live chat if you want to start drafting with us on the regular. At least 3 or 4 nights a week we'll be drafting for the 2024 drafts, which are already up. Underdog Fantasy, code Smitty. They'll double your first deposit up to $100. See you all later. Appreciate every single one of you. Deuces. You all rock. You're all absolutely amazing.
Hi, my name is B. John Robinson. I like long walks on the beach. And, well, I also like scoring. Legend has it if you say St. Brown 3 times in the dark in the bathroom, you will immediately lose your league.
Liftoff of mission 3, 2, 1, 0.
Yeah, and Perps reminding me that D-Town also subscribed on his own. D-Town, appreciate you for being a YouTube exclusive member. D-Town to the moon. $4.99 holler just to say that. Thank you, Perps. Appreciate you looking out for your boy. And then we had a celebratory message from, I believe it was, I think it was Jake. Jake from State Farm. Jake says, yo. Yo, welcome to the show. Appreciate you, Jake. Jake to the moon. I'll see you all later. Deuces.
He's Kyron. He's 7 feet tall, and he knows how to handle a ball. He's Kyron. He can take frowns and turn them upside down with his touchdowns.
Has anybody noticed Kyron has a lightning bolt scar on his on the bridge of his nose? Dude's got a lightning bolt scar on the bridge of his nose. Check it out real quick.
He's Kyron. He's 7 feet tall, and he knows how to handle a ball. He's Kyron. He can take frowns and turn them upside down with his touchdowns.
He got a lightning bolt on the bridge of his nose. It's unbelievable. I just noticed that. A lightning bolt on the bridge of your nose.
Your Bijan card has been revoked.
See you all later tonight. Don't forget, we're live every Monday through Friday. Like this show. This show you're watching right now is the 8 p.m. show. 8 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. Be here at 8. Do not be late.
Your Bijan card has been revoked.